So Killing Floor 2's Spring Update 2020 is actually getting closer and closer now. Anyway, the PC beta I'm kind of expecting to start maybe next week or the week after. And anyways, Tripwire revealed the 2 new weapons, the new map, and some perk and skill changes they've made that are pretty interesting. Hey guys, this is Chris with B&B Gaming. Welcome back, and I hope you're doing amazing today. Thank you for taking the time to check out this video, and thank you for your likes, your shares, your comments. Definitely appreciate it. So to start with, guys, the first thing they revealed, and this was a couple weeks ago, is the new map, or kind of official map now, coming to Killing Floor 2 in the spring update, is Biolapse by Delta Ranger. Now, Biolapse actually took first place in last year's ModDB contest. Now, Biolapse is actually a holdout style map like the Descent or Nightmare, so you clear one level, you go through the magic door, you get to a different level, and you just keep on going until you get to the boss room. So the blog post actually gives us a little bit of a background or lore about the map, and it starts out and it says that perhaps we should not have come here, was the thought on the top of the Merc's minds as they entered deeper and deeper into the facility. The new clues that were the lure that brought them there, the supposed site of one of Dr. Clamley's favorite offices to work out of when he was more human-like. Now, Dr. Clamley is actually the Patriarch, or was the human version of the Patriarch before he became our hated enemy. Now, it goes on and says that perhaps that, like so many other leads, this was just another trap. Now, you might be wondering, are we going to be able to play objective mode or endless mode on Biolapse? And unfortunately, because this is a holdout style map, we can only play survival on it. Now, personally, I love the Descent, and Nightmare is nasty, but actually kind of fun, so I am pretty excited about playing another holdout style map. Now, along with the new holdout style map, Biolapse, they've also improved some of the perk skills. If you remember back in December, they had like this big survey where we went through each perk skill, each perk weapon, and kind of rated whether they're good or trash or, in between, whatever. Anyways, Tripwire is using this to kind of fine-tune some of the skills in the game and kind of bring up some of the skills and weapons that, we basically don't use at all. Anyways, the first one they're working on here is Berserker's level 25 skill, Berserker Rage. Here they're increasing the heal percentage, the fear radius, and the fear duration. Now with Survivalist, they're actually tweaking Survivalist level 25 skill, Lockdown. Here they're actually maxing out your chance to get knocked down, stumble, or a stun. And here they're actually maxing these out to give us pretty much a guarantee that something's going to happen. They're going to get stunned, stumbled, or knocked down. With Gunslinger, they're actually improving the Line 'em Up level 15 skill. Here they're adding additional penetration to all the Gunslinger weapons. And they're saying that bullets will be able to penetrate through Zeds when they previously could not, depending on the Zed shot. So one thing I'm curious to try out here is more of a right side build, so you're aiming for body shots, etc. I'm curious whether or not this is going to improve Line 'em Up or make it worth running instead of a faster reload. And I'm also wondering specifically whether this would actually improve the rhinos or not, because I think they're good, but if Line 'em Up actually does work with increased body shot damage, etc., could be fun. Now with the Firebug perk, they're actually adding Ground Fire, or the Ground Fire skill is actually going to work with additional weapons. In the post it says that Ground Fire is also going to affect the Dragon's Breath shotgun, the Spitfire pistols, and even the Molotovs. And it's also going to affect the new Hrg Incendiary Rifle, which I'll talk about in a little bit here. Now you're probably thinking, are they going to mess this up? Are they going to mess up the balance of the game? They're actually going to be asking for a feedback during the beta so they can tweak this, and if there are major improvements that we're going to be looking for here, they're going to wait until the next update to make any major changes to any of these perks. As far as weapons go, they're actually going to be improving the Pulverizer. Now in the blog post it says that the light attack is going to do more damage, and that the explosive heavy attack is going to do more radial damage in front of the player. personally, I'm curious to try this out on obviously the Berserker, to try this out on the Survivalist and the demo. Now, they got to do something with this weapon for the demo, because why would you use this? Right? They have to make it more viable, so hopefully that's something they can look at. And just like the perk skills, they're going to be looking for our feedback on the Pulverizer. So once we get into the beta, definitely make sure you give them the feedback on their official forums. Now, as far as new weapons go, they're adding one new Hrg weapon called the Hrg Incendiary Rifle. Now, the Incendiary Rifle is going to shoot, obviously, incendiary rounds, but it's also going to shoot grenades just like the M16, but they're going to leave ground fire wherever they land. Now, the second new weapon coming in the Killing Floor 2 Spring Update is the Compound Bow, and this obviously is going to be a paid DLC weapon. Now, according to the blog post, the Compound Bow is actually going to have two different arrowheads that you can switch between. The first one they're calling the Sharp Arrowhead, and this is going to have a little less damage, but it's going to have more piercing, so I'm guessing kind of like the crossbow where you can shoot through multiple targets. And it also says we're going to be able to pick these arrowheads back up again and reuse them. Now, the second arrowhead they're calling the Cryo Arrowhead, and it actually is going to freeze your targets and cause them to explode. Now, in addition to this, it says the Compound Bow is also going to feature different levels of charge that will affect your range and impact damage. Now, the new Compound Bow is for the Sharpshooter perk, and obviously the Hrg Incendiary Rifle is for the Firebug. So at this point, you're probably wondering, when is this coming out, right? I want to play this right now, right? Because I know how you feel. Well, they haven't actually announced when the PC beta or the official update is coming out, but last year, the PC beta started February 28th, so I'm assuming the PC beta could start next week or the week after, and the full update for PS4, Xbox, and PC last year came out on March 26th, so this year, I'm guessing it could come out on either Tuesday, March 24th, or Tuesday, March 31st. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. What do you think about the perk changes? What do you think about the Hrg Incendiary Rifle? What do you think about Biolapse? Let me know what you think. For me, my first impression of this update, to be honest with you, was it seemed kind of thin. Like, I was thought, well, one map and two weapons. But I actually went back and I looked at last year's spring update, and it was the same. We got Spillway, and we got the Killer Wad, and we got the Helios Rifle. So we got two weapons, and one new map, and some perk changes. So basically, the spring update is the same size as it was last year. Now, as far as Biolapse, as I'm recording this, I haven't played it yet, but I have downloaded it. So more than likely it's going to be in the background of this video so you can see what it kind of looks like. And so I haven't played it yet, but in my experience, I love the Descent. Nightmare can be really tough, and Power Core is actually kind of fun, so I'm curious whether I'm going to like Biolapse or not. I'm assuming it's actually a really good map, otherwise they wouldn't have made it part of the spring update. Now, as far as the perk skills go, I'm interested to try out Line 'em Up. I know for me, every time they come out with a pistol, I try this out and I'm like really disappointed by it because it doesn't do anything, right? Evidently, the way it works is it's only for really headshots, so if they're lined up perfectly in a row, you can get multiple headshots. For me, I would rather run fast reload because I look at the kill cone at the end of the round and it's not even close how much damage, how many kills, assists you're getting with the fast reload. So hopefully they bring up Line 'em Up so it kind of gives more variety to playing Gunslinger. Now, in addition to this, I'm actually interested in them adding ground fire to the different Firebug weapons. So they've added it to the Dragon's Breath, Spitfires, and Molotovs. Personally, I really love playing with Firebug. I think it's one of the easiest perks to play with because you get all those assists, you get all those kills, and especially in the early waves, you get just tons and tons of money. Even the starting Cock and Burn, I think, is one of the best starting weapons just to get your dosh flowing. I'm interested to try that out. Now, as far as the Hrg Incendiary Rifle, I think it'll be pretty fun. I'm interested to try out the grenade launcher just to see, does the ground fire actually make any difference? I'm a little disappointed. I think the grenade itself should have been a Molotov or, an incendiary grenade. And it sounds like that's kind of what they're doing here. It's kind of like it hits and it'll leave it like a ground fire. Now, as far as the compound bow goes, I'm curious how this thing is going to work, because I know for me the crossbow is kind of fun and also really disappointing at the same time. I know there's a lot of really skilled players that are really good with it. I remember watching this medic just go off with it. He had like 200 kills. We were all dead on Endless Wave like 35 or something. And he was just going off with the crossbow. And then I used it and I'm like, this thing is junk. So I am curious how the compound bow is actually going to work. I think the two different arrowheads are going to be interesting. So it has the sharp for more piercing, and it also has the cryo heads for freezing and exploding enemies. And in addition, it has the different levels of charge, so you can evidently pull back the string for a second and shoot a clod, or pull it back for 2 or 3 seconds and maybe shoot a Scrake in the head. It should be interesting. I think they should go back after they get the compound bow tuned. They should go back and improve the crossbow and, make sure that both these weapons are fun and interesting to use.